You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Cat, the place to uplevel that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
Culture with ceremony, or with, quote unquote, plant medicines, because I witness a lot of ayahuasca circles that happen out there, which are legal under a formalized church, or even some of these cactus medicines that we were talking about. I'm also seeing some psilocybin circles that are being formed, some of them by trained facilitators through a specific lineage. I think Mexico is one of those lineages. I think another one is Europe. I can't remember where in Europe, but then there's also a lot of people are holding these, quote unquote, ceremonies that they don't have training. And so people are getting hurt and people are having traumatic experiences, and the facilitators don't know how to hold that space for somebody who's moving through a trauma. So maybe we can talk about the culture around ceremony. How do you designate the difference between that and what you do as in therapy?
Yeah. So, wow, it brings a lot of thoughts when I hear, the ceremony or the ceremonial context. It's there's groups, there's a lineage, or there's certain cultural pieces that are being repeated or carried forward from a particular group of people living
tribes,
somewhere, tribes,
culture,
different areas, and certainly great benefit in ways, and also maybe some limitations. One of the limitations might be the group setting. I could also tell you how I think that's a benefit as well.
Do it, yeah.
The research, much of the research around psychedelics has been done in a much smaller container, as in one participant and even multiple therapists, like a co-therapy team in the MDMA for PTSD study. Also the psilocybin study, I believe. John Hopkins was using a co-therapist model. Whereas a group, there is a lot more going on in a group. I've been a part of group processes, and there's a lot of healing and things that just don't come up, that may have come up, things that don't come up when working by myself or just with a therapist or two. So pros and cons to both. There's also a spiritual, or more specifically a religious connotation that is carried on by some of these lineages that may or may not be of service to an individual. So that's a consideration. Of course, most of the research aims to not bring any religion, not even a defined spirituality, not adding that to the context, though it often arises, as you can imagine, within a participant, their own relationship with spirituality or religion, something beyond themselves.
Yeah.
And another piece of what you were pointing to is the training, the integrity, the ethics of facilitators as the laws are changing.
Yeah.
SB 519 is a bill that's making its way through the California state government to decriminalize many of these compounds that we're talking about.
Psilocybin, it just happened. Yeah,
it's happening. And how will people work with these medicines? You mentioned cannabis and kind of how it became very just like kind of transactional. You just go and pick it up. MDMA will not be like that, at least in the first many years.
Yeah.
And this is because of the integrity of the organization, MAPS. They will be rolling it out, led by Rick Doblin, and so many beautiful, lovely people.
Lovers, Thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.